Hello and welcome everybody, Quirkylobster here, the jack of all games and the master of none. So, on my daily peruse of YouTube, I watched a couple of War Thunder videos. I don't play it a lot. I've sort of just gotten bored of it. Oh well, that just happens. People get burned out on games as it is. But I've noticed a lot of people, well not a lot, but some people, probably newer guys, that are watching YouTube and YouTube videos of War Thunder and getting into the game, which is fantastic, because it needs a strong community and a big player base for it to flourish and thrive, which would be really, really good, because it's a fantastic game. It's just, some things are questionable, but other than that, you know, it's pretty standard, it's a pretty solid game. But a lot of people don't really know their controls. They don't have a good control setup. And if you just jump into the game and you don't change the controls, they're freaking awful. And you'll find a lot of people just fly with the mouse, which is okay. But if you're going to try and do a sharp turn, if you're in a Spitfire or a bloody Zero, you won't be turning inside many people if you're just using the mouse. If you want to get full power, you have to use your keyboard and the proper key bindings. In this game, it's when you use control surfaces, it's 0 or it's 100, meaning it's none or it's full. You don't have if you have a joystick, you can, you know, do say 5% aileron, and that's, you know, that's joystick, you know, that's fair enough. But in this, if you use a keyboard, you won't be able to have that fine-tuning. Using a mouse, you can, but it's a little bit more tricky because the instructor will try and get you, and which is a little bit annoying. We'll deal with that too. But okay, moving on. Let's get into it. So this is for planes. I have all of my guns on left mouse button only, because I'll get to what my right mouse click is. I'll get to that later. But I have them all on my left. If I'm using a bigger cannon, I'll just fire in bursts, because for the yaks, they, you know, one 50 cal and a 30mm cannon. It's really not going to matter too much using that poxy machine gun. It's not going to do a hell of a lot unless you get lucky and light someone on fire with it. But other than that, like the cannon is really what the killing is doing. How you're getting a kill. But so I just, you know, just sort of click it in 1 to 2 shot sort of bursts. Not even like, I don't even hold it down at all. But I'll do a video on that later if someone really wants to see it. But anyway, let's get back into it. I use space as the bombs, and rockets is 4. I don't use rockets a lot. I don't use I don't know how to pronounce that at all. It's German for what's it? Jazz music or organ guns or something or other. Something to do with music instrument, I think, the way the cannons are aligned. In arcade, I use Y to reload, G is your gears, F is your flaps. The lock target I usually have is right mouse click, or in this case it's middle. That's really, really good if you're, say, turning in your G out, and you sort of black out in arcade and realistic mainly. You can hold down the lock target button, and it will show, if you've locked onto the target that you're shooting at or dogfighting with, it'll track them even through the G-force, so you can get a rough idea of where they are. With your throttle, you want to increase value is shift, decrease is control. That will control your throttle up and down, obviously. I use my pinky finger there. A lot of the time you don't really need to do a lot of throttle management. Some planes, and if you're doing a hammerhead, say, you will, but a lot of the time you don't. Hold throttle for WEP, I don't have that on. It just seems a little bit annoying because I have the what are they? Is it in here? I'm not really sure where it is, but it has the oil temperature and the engine temperature already showing, so you don't. So I just have that. If I'm climbing, I'll just WEP on, or if I don't really want it on while I'm climbing, I won't have it on, and I can see my temperature the whole time. It's not a big deal. I don't have the boosters on because there's only, what, 2 or something planes with boosters, and they're over tiered and not really worth using. The main guts of the tutorial basically today is your max value is D. That is to roll to the right. So your left wing goes to the right. Minimum value is your right wing goes to the left, over. And that's your aileron roll. That's rolling your plane over. Your pitch, that's your elevators. That's joystick. That would be pulling your stick up and pushing your stick down. Max value is S, so that's your elevators up, I believe. Yes, that's your elevators up. If you roll and do a full stick back, that'll make you do the tightest turn possible. It will also probably bleed a fair bit of speed, but if you're turn fighting, you know, that's what you expect. Minimum is W, that's pitch forward, that'll push your nose down, doing a positive G if you're flying straight, and your yaw is your rudder. That is Q and E. Q makes you go rudder and kick your nose to the left, E kicks your nose to the right. What else have we got here? Not a whole lot else besides from your flaps there, and you can. These are already defaultly set. You can toggle between raised, landing, combat on some planes. The Spitfires don't have combat flaps, they only have landing flaps. Pretty sure it's most, if not all. Your air brakes on some planes is H. It's very useful. At times if you're going too fast and you're about to break your plane. And I just use O to show the internal components. I'm not sure if that's on planes yet. I haven't really kept track of the updates on War Thunder. I just sort of felt motivated to make this video. Someone asked me the other day, well, someone posted it and I replied what I used, and they said they were going to try it out, and that was what I wanted to need. So that's 0, oh, not 0, O, not naught. Naught is the number, I believe. And that also goes for tanks as well. Instructor, this is really annoying, so you want to turn all of that off. If you're getting used to the game, you don't have to, but the auto restricts control of the plane near the ground. Turn that off. It is very frustrating when you're playing and trying to skim over treetops to get away from someone. The landing gear thing, yeah, that's pretty annoying. You can turn that off too. And the throttle boost too, yeah, everyone understands, you know, throttle up, you're going to crash or something like that. Just get rid of that, it's just annoying. Tank throttle, minimum is S, that's reverse. W is accelerate forward. Tank steering, A makes you go left, D makes you go right. I don't have a zoom camera. My tank controls are pretty dodge at the moment. They're just sort of sparingly done. I don't really play tanks a whole lot. I got up to the Tiger and I just sort of got burnt out from the ridiculous grind that they've apparently decided was totally balanced and equal to planes, which it is in no way, shape or form. But that's Gaijin's thing, not mine. It's not my business. Sniper mode, you know, going into the gun sight, that's V. That applies to planes as well. Tank repair is U. Select primary weapon. That is if you're in a tank with 2 different calibered guns. You can choose those and it will set your aiming sights in sniper view according to the gun you have selected. Say if you're using a mouse, you can select your 128 or your 75 or whatever that gun is. And you don't really bother with the machine gun, that's just spacebar. You know, and then 1 to 4 is your shells. Artillery is 5, I have 6 is extinguisher, and then these are the arcade. 7, 8, 9 is the assault fighter and bomber. The towing rope I have is set on naught. Artillery is again on 5. Toggle artillery enemy modes, I wouldn't have a clue what that is. I don't particularly use a lot of artillery. I haven't played this game for a little while. All that, I have no idea what that is. Z is your zoom, tracking camera is right mouse button as it says there. Tracking bombs and torpedoes is U. Torpedoes are useless anyway. Toggle view is V. I don't use all of those because I just cycle through with V. You can select them to particular things if you want, but don't really bother. C is your free look. That is vital if you're in a plane and in a tank, actually. Keep your head on a swivel, guys. It will get you safe. Please, if you guys play tanks, buy the binoculars. They're very useful from what I've seen and heard. Haven't really played War Thunder for nearly a month, so I'm not 100% sure on what the latest is. The rest of it is just normal. I don't use any of those. I haven't really found a use for them. The hide HUD, don't use that. I don't particularly use I use the map a little bit, so you just have it on M. Tab is your stats. Smoke is L, and I think in options you can change your colour of the smoke and where it comes from. J is bail out, obviously. That only applies in single player. Chat, obviously enter, and then pressing tab just cycles through the game, the team or the whole chat. T, very important command there. Remember, learn your commands, guys. Quick chat messages to help people know where a plane is bloody useful, bloody helpful. Please do that. Please use communication. Please tell someone if they're about to get attacked. It's just teamwork. Come on, guys, let's do this. You know, don't use push to talk. I mean, usually in TeamSpeak. That's all replays, and I don't really use that. And then, yeah, I don't really know my joystick controls too well. I don't usually fly with them too often, but in most cases, just have mouse aim clicked, and then set all your controls up, and then once you get them all done, export to just export it. I don't know if you guys can actually see this or not, but it'll pop up with a folder, and you can just put in whatever you want to save that file as, and then save it, and then boom, it'll come back, and then you can just export it, and find it if the controls mix up on you. But anyway, guys, that was just a really quick video. I just wanted to get that out there because I know a lot of people were struggling, and I really, really hope someone actually sees this and learns, gets the hang of it, because it's really, really useful and really vital to know how to properly move your aircraft around and how to properly move your tank and all that sort of stuff, and learn the controls that way, and really, really saves your life. But yeah, I hope that I think that covers just about everything in there. If anyone actually cares, I'll make another couple of tutorials on anything in War Thunder you have a question about. I'm more than happy to. But anyway, guys, I hope that was helpful and informative in every single way, shape and form I can possibly make it in. That's it. Have a good day, everyone. I'll talk to you next time.